Hello and welcome to Politics Today. I'm Farooq Pitafi. Although we are once again going to talk about the political situation in the country, especially the tiff between the federal government or PTI and the People's Party that is ruling Sindh. And we are going to talk about the strategies, possibilities, the number games, and the overall situation of realpolitik in the country. But before I go to that, let me add a sad note here. I had thought that I'm going to start the program by congratulating you, by wishing you a Happy New Year. But a little bit earlier in Laura Alai, there was a sad incident. The news is still coming in. There were casualties from the state side as well. That's why I will neither go to the morose side nor very convivial side either. Let us now talk about the situation at this moment that is brewing in Pakistan. After the arrival of JIT, again, yesterday I added one caveat. I'm going to repeat it today as well. We are not going to discuss the contents of or the merits of either JIT or the case relating to it, because Supreme Court of Pakistan very clearly has barred all the media from discussing the cases which are undergoing. But we are going to talk about the repercussions because People's Party is on the defensive, and it seems that there is a strategy to demand that Murad Ali Shah, the Chief Minister in Sindh, be replaced. And if he is not replaced, there might be some way to swing the government there, to change the number game there. Simultaneously and similarly, we also hear People's Party, indicating that it can bring down the federal government down, especially with the help of PMLN. And there are rumors in the air right now that they plan to do something of the sort. And Akhtar Mingal's name is being suggested as the potential candidate for the leadership of the country. What becomes of these games, especially when terrorism once again is striking, although it is on the receding end, but still it is there. We are going to talk about all these matters and more. In order to help us understand these issues, we are joined by Barrister Mohammad Ali Saif Saab, who is a senator of MKM and quite accomplished as well. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. Next to him is one of my favorite investigative reporters, journalist Zahid Gishkori. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. Javed Rana is sitting next to him, a political commentator, a journalist also. Thank you very much, sir, for your time, Rana Saab, as well. Barrister Saab, I have to start with you. At this moment, do you think that the central government that you are allied with is in the position to change the number game in Sindh Assembly?
I believe that if you look at the genesis of this problem, from where it all began, it began with the proceedings of Supreme Court in Lahore, where the JIT represented its report on people involving Pakistan People's Party, and then suddenly there was a wave of accusations and recriminations between PTI and Pakistan People's Party in relation to the ouster of Sindh's Chief Minister. In my opinion, I won't call it premature, I would call it an immature step taken by the people who immediately demanded such a grave and such a drastic step on the basis of a JIT report. Number one, they apparently had not done their homework properly, because if you look at the number game, coming directly to your question, it's one of the options if you have if you can manage enough number of members in order to be able to move a no confidence vote against the Chief Minister. It's one of the options available to anybody who wants to unseat the government under the Constitution.
Right.
The second option is the governor rule under Article 232 and 234. Keeping that aside, because that would be unconstitutional in a way, declared unconstitutional, I'm sure, and the Supreme Court had already pointed it out. I personally do not think that the opposition, even if they remain joint and united in this move, I don't think they have the sufficient number. They have the capability to muster that number of MPAs
Right.
to unseat him.
99 versus 30.
Yes, yes, because number one, apparently the game is absolutely not in their favor, number one. But number two, even if they attempt to or manage to win over some MPs towards their side, still they would have to face a serious threat of disqualification of those MPs if they vote against their party lines.
Okay.
Secondly, the only option they have is to be able to make a forward block in the Sindh Assembly, and those people who would join the Sindh Assembly's forward block in PPP would probably abstain from voting if it comes to that, so that
By doing that, they can bring down the CM.
bring down the CM. Yes, that is one possible option.
Okay.
But I believe that
Do you think there might be such a big forward block in People's Party?
frankly, I don't think that the opposition has that kind of capability
Okay.
to be able to muster that strength or that
Right.
support within the Senate.
And since you talked about, I'm going to talk about People's Party's strategy also, because that is important later in the program. But at this moment, do tell me about this speculation, this actually assessment of coming from you now. Earlier I heard it from other people, that people from PTI actually jumped the gun, seeing a GIT report and demanding resignation. But is it not true that it was People's Party that was demanding Mian Nawaz Sharif's resignation as soon as GIT came out?
Yes, agreed. People's Party did demand, and I think most of the opposition parties demanded that.
Right.
But that was just a political demand. They could have said that as well.
Okay.
But then pretending or trying to show as if they are going to take real positive, cogent steps towards ensuring that the CM is ousted, I believe that kind of put them in a defensive position. And now, or yesterday's Supreme Court's kind of proclamations or the kind of comments that came from the honorable judges, I mean, that made it very clear that such a move based on a JIT report, which in toto or in real sense does not have any legal credibility unless it is proven before the courts.
Right, and that will take its sweet time. Let me go to Zaid Geshkori. Your take on this situation.
Thank you very much, Farooq. I can well imagine here, even give you the opinion that it's like a recap for me, started from 12th of April 2016. It was for PMLN at that time. Ultimately, Prime Minister was removed on Supreme Court direction, and now
Was disqualified actually. Yeah.
disqualified, of course.
Not
and
technically removed. He got disqualified and then had to leave.
of course, it was Supreme Court of Pakistan which referred his case to Election Commission of Pakistan for disqualification.
Yeah.
So, same situation. I had gone through 5,360 pages of JIT of Panama Papers, and now this JIT came up with more than 7,500 pages. So, I'm sure that you would let me to complete my argument here.
Yeah, but not at the cost of discussing the merits of the case. I told you
I'm not
earlier.
going to give my
We are not going to
opinion.
do that.
I'm just based on my own information, which I have gone through so far, the document. The same situation, perhaps go with Pakistan People's Party here, but the difference with Panama JIT and this JIT
You again are discussing
is
the
quite
components
clear.
of the
Based on
report.
my own
No,
information,
sir,
I
but
have access
Honorable
to
Court
all
has stopped
these
people
documents.
from talking about it. That is a very
I'm
important
just
and strong
floating
statement.
my own information to you.
Yeah, but
Based on this, I'm not going to discuss the merit and demerit of this case.
or the contents of GIT.
No, based on my own information.
That is the instruction.
The same situation is perhaps going to happen with Pakistan People's Party, because this JIT, I have access to 95 annexures which completely carries the evidence which could create trouble for...
You don't say a word ahead. I get your point, but you're not going to talk about the content. This is a request.
I'm not going to do
because
that.
yeah.
Just let me do-
Now,
change my
you can
stance.
talk about political strategies of various parties and what happens.
That's why I'm coming to that point. Listen, so the effort by PTI, if it was doing that, just to change or bring in-house change in Sindh, as Barrister Saab said, I agree to his point that it's almost very difficult because the 99 they enjoy MP's number game with 99 and then PTI with 30. If you just add all parties sitting in opposition, its number is only 61. So it's almost a very difficult task for Pakistan People's Party.
To string something like 30 votes, right?
Yes.
In the parliament.
In Sindh, you know that now the momentum is up to the mark in favor of Pakistan People's Party after this JIT and many other issues now being pleaded in the country.
Favorable to
Yes.
People's Party.
For Pakistan People's Party.
When is it
There is a concept
when is
behind
it not? I mean, in every election, People's Party seem to win. Say whatever you want to, but it seems in Sindh, People's Party is made of Teflon.
Pakistan People's Party is enjoying more popularity, particularly its members. At least I spoke to 9 to 10 members of parliament who are well aware of the situation inside the parliament.
We are talking about
In
Sindh
my
Parliament.
opinion,
Sindh
yes,
Assembly,
in
right?
Sindh Parliament, in my opinion, it's next to impossible for any Pakistan People's Party MP to support or just to try for the, that grand alliance like that. I don't see, by the way. So that's why Pakistan People's Party is still very strong within the province. But when it comes to center, you know that as Bilawal Bhutto Zardari said that if ex-President Zardari let him to do that, they can also.
And I'm going to talk about that in a bit, how People's Party can achieve that. Let me go to Javed Rana. Javed Rana, your take on the situation.
I think PTA probably knows it, that they are not going to make it. They cannot replace.
In numbers?
In numbers.
Swinging something like 30 to 40 people is not easy.
That's a huge number. Probably the strategy which appears to be in place is that to bring pressure on People's Party to a tipping point whereby the Chief Minister could possibly resign and create political conditions whereby the People's Party government may not function as it in the normal conditions.
After the removal of CM or before it?
I think it's a before and after both kind of situation. They are through public statements they are creating an uncertain situation in Sindh. They know the option of the governor rule is not there. That's so difficult, constitutionally speaking, that it is not going to be an option. And the second, when it comes to the number game, something we have already discussed, that's not possible. And then the option of the forward block, that is there as a remote possibility. But nonetheless, that is not going to bring an in-house change. So I think what they can do and what they are doing is they are creating conditions, a sort of uncertain political condition in Sindh province. They're trying to create
in Sindh Assembly, not in province.
Yes, in Sindh Assembly, sending a message that the People's Party, what the PTI consider is the most corrupt, citing all these GIT's findings. We are not going to get into the contents of the GIT.
Thank you very much.
But in a broader picture, I would say that People's Party is in a very tough situation because something they've been criticizing in the past when Nawashi was a similar situation. Now they have to justify it because now they are in a different position. So it is not a question
But
of...
they don't justify. When you ask them, they start shouting. I mean, you must have seen it. They get very angry. Now their argument seems to be quite emotive rather than based on any kind of reasoning.
All we know about People's Party's track record is from 2000 till now that they have been countering all these kind of evidence through force of propaganda. They were successful in the past. And you might recall that Asif Zardari, along with Benazir Bhutto, they were convicted by the Swiss courts. And later, when it was at an appeal stage, and I think they were most likely to be, that conviction was likely to be reconfirmed by the
Right.
jury. At that particular point of time, those cases were withdrawn by the government of Pakistan. Later on, People's Party came into power. They got all the documents, destroy all those
We
documents.
cannot prove it before actually it is proven in a court of law. So it is
And
a big claim.
Zardari Sahab actually was exonerated on technical grounds that the NAB doesn't have the original documents.
Okay.
So they've been playing these kind of games in the past.
So
And
it will happen again?
I really doubt this time.
The situation is different.
Situation is different.
Okay, let me go back to
I
Barrister
want to
Saab.
add one point with the due permission from Barrister Saab
See that.
with the situation. Just
Yeah.
one, just a simple point that I can smell here the situation, about the political engineering, which happened unfortunately in Karachi 1.5 years ago.
Political engineering of which sort?
There's a that is sort of considered at that time a pre-poll rigging, that when a game was being played with MQM, and that sort of experience was very lethal for Pakistan democracy.
Now you seem to have changed the direction of entire discussion. But I have to talk about something else. You are from MKM, but I will request you to respond to what has been said earlier
Because
regarding
it
People's
has
Party.
been happening in
Hang on.
Balochistan as well. if you
Yeah, but
remember.
People's Party was hand in glove
The
there,
same
right?
situation.
Okay.
But it's not fair, to the Pakistan People's Party enjoys majority, even 2/3 majority.
Right.
And same political engineering are like that. It's very lethal for democracy.
No, is it going to happen?
There was an
Do you-
environment.
No. Do you think that People's Party is guilty?
Pakistan People's Party is not guilty until proven by the court.
Thank you very much.
Can-
Now, another question in the same breath. Do you think the forces that you are accusing of pre-poll rigging, that has been proven in a court of law? Or are they innocent until proven guilty as
I
well?
just smell that. I'm not accusing any force which is anti-democracy in Pakistan.
No, but this is the point. On one side, we say
I'm against
that
such sort of experiences.
No, but how can you decide on behalf of the courts or anybody that something has happened when it hasn't been proven in a court of law?
By the way, it's right of the government, because government want to get more maximum
Okay.
positive result, to keep piling pressure on Sindh government in shape of JTI,
Yeah, and there
JIT
is a question
recommendation.
regarding Sindh government as well, especially of Karachi. But first, I have to ask you to respond, if you want to, on the comment regarding People's Party, that People's Party might be doing something wrong. And secondly, when it comes to the government in center, do you think that People's Party has any means or mechanism to bring down your allied government?
Well, insofar as wrongdoings are concerned, all these wrongdoings are so far allegations, legally speaking.
Yeah.
And as Zahid Gashkori has pointed out, unless it is proven in the court of law, one cannot call them,
Guilt.
Guilt or truths
Yeah.
as such. They're just legal accusations
Right.
to be proven. Number one. Number two, so I mean, in political context, yes, parties do attack each other. They do attack and assail each other's credibility on the basis of allegations. No doubt about that. Insofar as making a no confidence move against an opponent party's rule, that is also a political right of
And
everybody.
legitimate,
Yeah.
yeah.
But what is right and what is wrong is a different thing.
Yeah.
The issue is, can you do it or not? That's the point.
Right.
Yeah. So in my opinion,
It
and so
cannot
far
be
as
done.
my meager legal experience is concerned, I believe that a politician or a political party must not make a claim unless it can show that it has the strength and the means to accomplish that claim. Number one, or that
Otherwise,
target.
the
Yeah.
credibility suffers.
Otherwise, it goes in, and it's like a a double-edged sword. It gets back at you, and then you have to start defending and look at the situation.
And who
Although
claimed it? Who claimed it?
In this
PTI
case,
or
in this
People's
no,
Party?
in this case, it is PTI because PTI was the one who initiated this debate. Number one, number two.
No, junior ranking members of the province, not the
I,
center.
no. I don't think it is junior ranking. It was
But
across the
here
board.
Bilawal is saying we can bring down the central
Yes,
government.
but on the other side, on the government side also, top ranking responsible members of PTI, ministers, and I believe that there was a tweet from the Prime Minister as well in this respect. The point is, in my opinion, such a statement should have only been made when they had done their homework. I believe it was just a tit for tat retaliation. The moment the JIT report
Prime
came,
Minister said that I'm going to remove the Sindh government.
yes, it was to
PTI?
some extent something like that. I have heard it somewhere on
Okay.
the media.
few
so
Because
I
I
don't know.
follow the
I
Three
don't
federal
know, yeah.
ministers.
PTI
were
Sindh
saying about it.
MPs, they were more vocal.
Yeah.
MPs, right?
Yeah.
Not the
Two
Prime
federal ministers as
And then
well.
like
Like
Fawad Chaudhry
Fawad
Sahab
Chaudhry.
were
Okay,
also
sir.
there.
Yeah.
please,
So, anyways, no point in fixing responsibility on who said it. I believe the information minister was there. He said that all along he was about to go to
But
Sindh.
it didn't go.
He didn't go because he then realized that it was a mistake. Number two, the leader of the opposition in Sindh Assembly, somebody Naqvi, he is also the most responsible man within the Sindh Assembly representing PTI. He was making claims and he even argued in one TV channel with me that Article 235 applies in this
Yeah,
case,
yeah, I heard
which
that.
relates to emergency situation in financial matters, which is the most irrelevant article in this respect. But he was arguing as
But he
if-
said
yeah.
that nothing is confirmed. We are just at this moment not ruling out any possibility.
They
Even
want-
he moved the motion as well.
They wanted it, they loved it, they wanted to see, and he was probably eyeing himself as the chief minister of Sindh as well. But the point is that why does one make a statement when one hasn't done his homework?
Granted.
Number one, and number two. Now look at their position. All the aggressiveness has now subsided, and now they are defending on every TV channel. They are defending. No, we didn't mean this, and we meant this. In politics, the intelligent move is don't make a statement which you have to then clarify.
Okay.
Make a statement that your enemies then have to defend or try to respond
or
to.
generate as many sound bites as possible because
Yes.
that gives you more ratings.
But I don't think
And
that
you
this was
stay
a
at
rating
the
because,
center of debates.
But in this game, it actually reverted back at them, and now
Okay.
they are defending themselves.
Now, I understand that, and it is granted. Now, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's insinuation, statement that they can also bring the central government down.
Well, Bilawal is in a better position to explain this position, but I believe that maybe what he had in mind, I can only speculate, is that maybe he was planning or he was thinking about joining hands with PMLN,
Right.
which is also in the same boat, and maybe they would jointly make such a move in order to create